Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bits and Bob's Back Shop. And today we're going to be working on something that's been bothering me for a long time. My test layout, and you see that in the intro and when locomotives and rolling stock are finished, I give them a spin, take some videos. You've seen the layout. That started off almost a year ago now as a under the tree Christmas layout. And after Christmas, my reignition of loving of trains sparked me to move it into my den and continue to build on it. And things that I thought were a good idea back then aren't so good now. One of my biggest pet peeves, besides the entire layout being full of snow, is, and we're gonna take care of that as well, I'm gonna convert most of the layout back to fall. I'm gonna try and do a fall layout. And if you guys are interested in seeing how I'm gonna convert that polyfill cotton into a substrate where I could do paint and ground foam and, you know, convert it over to a grass and fall colored trees along with some roads, and we're going to really take it a step up. I'm working towards doing a much larger layout, and I figured since I already have the platform with the 4x4, I'm going to experiment and cut my teeth on certain things so that I won't make any mistakes during the larger layout. So one thing that was really bugging me, and it started to really affect the running of the trains, is the bridge. The original bridge I had was a Atlas Warren Truss bridge, and you can see it took a beating trying to get it back out of the layout because I ended up soldering all the rails together to keep everything in alignment as well as promote good electrical conductivity. But we're good. The rest of the layout's fine. But what has become a problem is this layout. I don't know if you're gonna notice it, but there's a big bow in the center of this. And it would cause the locomotives to kind of come in and then go back up, and I never had any derailments, but it did cause some major issues. You can also see that the guide rail, the catch rails were cut out, and this is due to the fact that this rail is code 83, and when I started running some of my Marklin locomotives and whatnot with the large flanges, it was really causing me an issue because the flanges would bottom out onto the top of the ties and cause the locomotive to stop right in the middle of the bridge. Plus, with the bridge being such as it is, a truss, it kind of blocked the views of the freight cars and passenger cars and whatnot like that, and the locomotives. So we're gonna ditch this in favor of this kit. And it's a little bit smaller than the Warren Truss bridge, and there's a reason for it, and we'll get into that a little bit later when I put it into the layout when it's all built. But I'm gonna do a quick build and review of this bridge, and hope you stick around and see how it all comes out. Now, I did cheat. I did go ahead and paint the upper section a concrete color and then glued a section of code 100 Atlas Snaptrack onto the deck. So there was really nothing to show there other than, cleaning up and deburring where the mold sprues were. But let's get started. Let's open the box. For you, this will be the first time. For me, this will be the second time. I really haven't even looked at the instruction manual that much. I just wanted to see if there was anything that I needed to do as far as painting, but the color of the bridge looks okay. Let's get the instructions out of here. And that's that. Lot of flash and mold. Lots of flash and mold. First off, you could, I don't know if the tooling is old or whatnot, but there's going to be a substantial amount of cleanup that's going to be required to get these all ready to be assembled. So some of which I'll speed it up and get her done. The bridge sides seem to be relatively square. You know, they're not warped in any way, so that's a plus. So the kit consists of 2 bridge sides. You have some truss bracing along the edges. And then you have the X bracing that will end up going in such as this. I don't know if y'all can see that. So that's going to give us a really nice build. It should be very strong. And these are also some rivet strips that have to be attached. And we'll look at the instruction manual on how we get those installed. But let's get started. It's funny, right off the get-go, it shows these strips separate than these guys, but alright, and then this is exactly how it's going to go together. So let me clean everything off. And girder flange, vertical angles, okay, lateral bracing. Alright, cool. So it looks as though all this gets broken off, and at this point I'm going to speed it up. Okay, just cleaning off the dirt, the left behind residue of the filing. Everything looks pretty good. Well, if you were watching carefully, you'll see that both of my large spans have broken getting them off of the sprue. And I used a pair of modeler shears, sprue cutters, so for that to just break as easily. As I noticed, it looks as though due to packaging that, you know, being jammed into the box, there were a lot of stress cracks, and as I put the plastic under tension, it just failed at those points. So instead of gluing these all back together again and then trying to fit them to the model, I'm thinking it would probably be wiser to glue them in place, you know, once we figure out where everything ends up going, and then fixing them in their spot. So now, according to the instructions, wherever these large gussets are, a large brace goes there as well. So, just pretty strange, because if I just have to pick one side or the other, they only gave me 5. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So that's very strange. You would figure that you would want one here and then also one here. But I get it, because we're only going on the rivet strips and there's no rivet strip here. So, alright. Let's see, is there anything else? Any kind of a visual cue? Alright. Well, I'm going to go with the one that is only broken in 2. This way I think I have a higher success rate to figure out which way this fits, rather than trying to go with the multiple choice one, if you know what I mean. And this needs to go this way, where you could see the rivet detail right off the bat. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. I use my Plastistruck plastic weld, plastic bond, and this stuff works pretty quick. So let's get this all lined up. And then put a drop of glue right behind there. And then press it down. want to make sure all my plates are as close to the face as possible, because I want to get the strongest bond possible. If this guy is just sitting away from it, we're only going to get a good bond here in the crease, in the seam. I want to be able to get it all the way across here as well. And this side looks to be already dry. So why don't we try and install some of these guys. Now, do they go this way? It looks as so. Let's look at the instructions. Yeah, it looks like we've got them at the end. So let's see. So if these go the way they say they go, we're going to have one here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I'll be dipped. All right. So let's go ahead and there's a blind spot here, and there's a blind spot. Are you seeing that? I just realized that. So we have rivets on one side and blank on the other. Rivets on one side, blank on the other, and then we have a gap here as well in the molding. So I'm gonna bet that this fits in just like that. Okay. Alright, we're back. I think that had enough time to dry. Now I just want to try and re-wet this corner section here a little extra, because what I want to do is melt the plastic and the glue joint back down where it's supposed to go. I think I see the issue. There we go. Now we're in like a burglar. since this one is so ugly, this reattachment here, oh, actually that kind of, yeah, I don't know, guys. Let's hold this here for a moment. Blowing on it. I think we're going to make this the top. We'll get all the structural support, but this will end up getting covered with the deck. So we're going to make this our top. Let's make a mental note. And then the instructions state to go ahead and slide these two together, which is going to be a big project all in and of itself. Okay, well, at least it's level. And then when we put this on, it'll actually look pretty good. Okay. Maybe I'll paint this. Now, one bonus that I gotta say I was really impressed with in the entire kit, because the kit's okay. We'll see how it comes out painted. I might keep it the same kind of color, but we're gonna have to wash it, and then it looks as though I made a bozo no-no, and this needed to go on either side. I didn't really realize that. Actually, maybe not. Maybe I can still... So this is still going to be the top. The glue's dry. So it's going to be better than it was. So let me go ahead and wash this and then paint it, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're painted. I went with a slightly lighter color gray. And next, or I should say the last thing we have to do, is marry the bridge to the deck. And let's see what we got going on here. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Seems like the right thing to do. And then I'm gonna, let's see, do we have enough altitude? Yeah, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and sight it this way for myself. So I can make sure my beams are parallel with the track. Although this upper concrete piece is quite thick, so I'm not worried about any sagging like on the old Atlas bridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little weight down here. Okay, everything is dried up. I did leave this a bit rough textured as far as the paint. It's gonna go well because when we're gonna weather it, which I'm gonna probably do, I might as well do it right now. But there's something pretty cool that the kit comes with and really worth the price of admission all in and of itself. Are these really nice cast bridge feet. So that's really a nice addition. They're white metal. Doesn't look like it needs much cleanup, if any at all. Well, yeah, I spoke too soon. So let's just give these feet a little bit of cleanup here, because next to weathering, the last thing we're going to do is weather these with some black washes. And here we have it. The bridge abutments were left over from another kit. I painted, weathered them, all in preparation for the building of this kit. And that's pretty much what the finished product's going to look like. I'm going to wait to ballast the track until I ballast all the other track. And I think it's going to be a nice addition to the layout, and we're getting a little bit more into scale, you know. So if y'all enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to leave you with some closing pictures and video of trains running over it. Thanks for watching.